little overview of Salesforce Access, likely nothing new. And this is just basically being pulled from a Salesforce Ben article that covers some of these basic principles. It's in a lot more detail than what I have here. And then, I've added a little bit of color, but it's mostly just pulled from Salesforce Ben. And so roles, critical component of access, the way that they describe it there is that roles C, they give basically record level visibility. And so these are governed first and foremost by org-wide defaults, which are basically, if done properly, they should be kind of the most restrictive level. You don't want to be giving too much access or too much visibility by default. But then you can open these up using role hierarchy. Best example of that would be like visibility of opportunities, for example, where you might want to have, a sales manager that has less visibility than a sales VP. And then if you need to extend beyond the hierarchy, then you can use sharing rules. And sharing rules give you the ability to kind of spread access across the enterprise or across your org, rather than just top down within the hierarchy. We've been hearing sharing rules come up a little bit in some audit-focused conversations, because if not used or tracked properly, then you are at risk of really opening visibility up across roles very broadly, and in some case to a point where you might be giving people, far too much visibility to access. And so we've had that come up a few times of, how are you effectively managing and tracking those? Next bullet here is profiles. And so while roles C, profiles do, most commonly you can think of kind of the creds, create, read, edit, and delete. The way that these are typically structured is by function. So you can think of this as having a profile for a sales user, a marketing user, a support user. And then within that, there's various capabilities that are provided. The challenge with that really, a number of years ago now, but difficult to manage across a large organization where you've got a lot of variability and you're stuck managing far too many profiles. And so what Salesforce came out with a number of years ago was permission sets. And so what that gives you the ability to do is basically just add some flexibility in terms of how you provide that functional access to your sales users, as an example. And so you can just automatically provide a permission set within a profile that's going to give a sales user or a group of sales user a bunch of those key capabilities that they need, help streamline things like onboarding. But again, even that, sometimes you get into situations where you have far too many permission sets. And so as a result, Salesforce more recently released permission set groups, which kind of allows you to then bundle those permission sets into a group and provide those to a group of users. So these are kind of some of the key things that we hear of, not only just at the object level, but specifically for profiles, we often see kind of all the way down to field level access, and what visibility are you providing, or what capabilities are you providing rather, to people all the way down to specific fields that may contain critical data, for example.